Welcome to the story of Jesus Feeds 5,000. This story is from the Gospel of John, chapter 6, verses 1 through 14. The lesson focus for grades 3 and 4 is God provides abundantly. All four Gospels contain the story of the miracle of Jesus feeding thousands. Each Gospel has a different focus and details, but the basic storyline is the same. There's a large crowd of people following Jesus. When it's time for lunch, they're hungry, but the only food to be found is a few loaves of bread and a couple of fish. In Jesus' hands, that small lunch is plenty for thousands. John's Gospel is the only one that mentions that the loaves and fishes came from a child, and only in the Gospel of John does this story take place at the time of Passover. This detail can remind us of God providing for the Israelites as they wandered in the wilderness after they escaped from Egypt. After leading the people through the Red Sea, God provided food, manna, for the people. There was enough for everyone, but none that could be hoarded or saved. Through Jesus, God multiplies a few fish and loaves of bread to feed all the people on the mountain, and there are leftovers. There is more than enough. The theme of abundance is clear in this story. There's more than enough, even when it seems like somebody, many bodies in fact, will have to go hungry. God provides abundantly. Jesus fed all the people, and there were 12 baskets of leftovers. The mention of a child in this story is especially important when you're teaching children. One boy shares his lunch. He participates in the miracle by his generosity. This is a wonderful story for talking about sharing and being God's hands in the world. We can help. We can share. Think of it. Sharing, that thing that we've been taught since we were toddlers, helps God provide for all. Jesus feeds us and fills our every need. This message, too, can be shared. When we help to feed the hungry, advocate for the homeless, care for those down on their luck, we help God provide for all, and we spread the good news of Jesus. There is plenty of food to feed all the people in the story of Jesus Feeds 5,000. God provides abundantly. Always encourage and model respect for kids. While it's sometimes tempting to speak your mind when it comes to others in your church, kids who come only sporadically, or people in your community, be sure you never speak badly of others in front of your kids. They'll learn what respect looks like from you. Service projects are a great way to put faith into action, but keep in mind that not all of the kids in your class will be in an equal position where they have extra money, clothes, or food to share. Getting to know your kids' living situation can be a good way to adjust service projects so that kids can offer what they have. For the arrival activity, some kids may have dairy or gluten allergies. If needed, substitute non-food items such as coins in place of the fish crackers. Taking the time to make these modifications will ensure that all kids are able to fully participate in the lesson. Kids will talk about foster care in the leaflet story called Enough for Everyone. Be sensitive that some kids in your class may have experienced foster care firsthand. Invite those kids to share their experiences only if they choose to do so. Be sure to modify the conversation about foster care to address the fact that some kids may have experienced it. Kids and adults often pray for miracles, especially when a loved one is ill or something terrible has happened. Ask kids what miracles they've seen or heard about in the world today. Help kids understand that when, where, and why miracles happen is still a mystery of faith for all of us. If you have an in-depth conversation about miracles as you explore this story, you could adjust the closing prayer to include miracles that your group has discussed. This story shows us that with God's help, there's plenty for all. God provides abundantly.